This Muslim, called the Orthodox Muslim, claims that Habakkuk chapter 3 verse 3 prophesies Muhammad. Let us examine the facts without twisting scripture and see how this claim falls apart. Today, I'll show you why this argument is impossible to defend. The first claim is that Habakkuk chapter 3 verse 3 is a prophecy about Muhammad because it describes God coming from Teman and the Holy One from Paran. The verse explicitly says God came from Teman and the Holy One from Mount Paran. This cannot refer to Muhammad because the subject is God, not a prophet, and the descriptions in the chapter, like his splendor covered the heavens or rays flashed from his hand, apply only to God, not to any human. If this verse refers to Muhammad, then Muhammad would have to be God, which is shirk in Islam, which is blasphemy. The second claim is that Teman refers to a general southern region, and Paran is in Arabia, specifically in the Hijaz. Teman is a well-known Edomite location in southern Jordan, not Arabia. Paran is repeatedly mentioned in the Bible as a place where the Israelites camped after leaving Egypt. It is linked to Sinai, not Mecca. Genesis chapter 21 verse 21 says, Ishmael settled in Paran, but it does not say Paran is in Mecca or the Hijaz. Paran is part of the biblical geography of Israel's wilderness journey, not a city in Arabia. The argument collapses because there is no evidence that Paran refers to Mecca. The third claim is that Deuteronomy chapter 33 verse 2 is a parallel prophecy about Muhammad because it mentions God coming from Paran with 10,000 holy ones and a law in his right hand. Deuteronomy chapter 33 verse 2 states, The Lord came from Sinai and dawned from Seir upon us. He shone forth from Mount Paran. He came from the midst of 10,000 holy ones. At his right hand was a fiery law. This is not about Muhammad because it refers to God's presence in the Exodus. The fiery law refers to the Torah, not the Quran. The 10,000 holy ones are angels, not Muhammad's army. If Paran in Deuteronomy chapter 33 verse 2 refers to Mecca, then Sinai and Seir must also be in Arabia, which no historian agree with. Deuteronomy chapter 33 verse 2 is about God revealing the law to Moses, not Muhammad. The fourth claim is that the Ishmaelites dwelt in Paran, which proves Paran is in Arabia. Genesis chapter 21 verse 21 states that Ishmael lived in the wilderness of Paran, but Ishmael's descendants lived in many places, not just one. For example, Isaiah chapter 21 verse 13 to 17 describes some of Ishmael's descendants in Arabia, but this does not prove Paran is in Mecca. Biblical Paran is near Sinai, where the Israelites wandered, not Mecca. So even if Ishmael's descendants lived in Arabia, that does not mean that Paran is Mecca. The fifth claim is that the Armenian historian Cebeus said that Muhammad came from the Paran desert. First of all, Cebeus was a historian, not a prophet or biblical scholar. He wrote 600 plus years after Habakkuk, so his interpretation is irrelevant. Even if Muhammad came from a desert, that does not mean that Habakkuk chapter 3 verse 3 refers to him. Other historians say Paran was in the Sinai region, not Mecca. So, a 7th century historian's opinion does not override biblical geography. The sixth claim is that a manuscript from the Sinai monastery says the sky lit up with Mahmud. First of all, there is no credible manuscript of Habakkuk that contains the word Mahmud. This is an altered reading with no basis in textual history. The Dead Sea Scrolls and the Septuagint do not mention Mahmud. Even if such a manuscript existed, one manuscript does not overwrite thousands of other biblical texts. This Mahmud claim is a forgery or interpolation, not part of the original Bible. So, Habakkuk chapter 3 verse 3 speaks of God, not a prophet. Claiming it refers to Muhammad makes him divine, which is shirk. Paran is tied to Israel's exodus, not Mecca. The Bible never equates the two. Teman is in Edom, Jordan, not near Medina. Muslims misplace it. Deuteronomy chapter 33 verse 2 describes God at Sinai, not Muhammad. The 10,000 holy ones are angels, not soldiers. The Mahmud claim in a Sinai manuscript is false. No ancient biblical text supports it. So my question for you Muslims is, if your argument is based on misreading scripture, false geography, and fake texts, can it really be true?